I'm on a hike today. I have hurt my back and it's just not getting better. We did a 42-mile ride, 43-mile ride from Osawatomie, Kansas to Pomona Lake, and I really hurt my back. Not sure what's going on with it. Thought it was better, and then went on like an 8-mile bike ride, and it was hurt again. So I'm trying to let it heal, and it's taking some time, and it helps when I actually walk. So I'm going to be doing some more hiking, and this is one of those trails I've been wanting to come out here for a long time. I mean, I've been out here many times. This is Wyandotte County Lake in Kansas City, Kansas. They have a lot of trails here, and mostly I used to mountain bike here. It's a little washed out section. Mostly I used to mountain bike here. I started out with kind of hiking, trail running, then saw that the bikers were having more fun. But now I'm just out here hiking today. It's early morning. I don't know what time it is. Around 7 maybe. No, it has to be about 9. Excuse me. About 9. So yeah, we're on the Whitetail Trail today, so I'm just going to let you see what it looks like. We've had a lot of rain here past several weeks. We've had a lot of rain, but the trails look pretty good. I'm not picking up any mud on my shoes. There was nobody in the parking lot, so as far as I know, out here all by myself. You'll see these on the trail. These trails have been here for a long time. Wyandotte County Lake was built as a works project. Can't remember the acronym, but it was during the Depression. Try to get people back to work. And so they developed a lake here. And ever since then, they've had, I don't know if you would call them nature trails. It's more fisherman trails to get down to the lake, maybe. They did have Boy Scout type stuff. Here's some mud. There's some areas that are kind of muddy. So they have these Boy Scout nature trails here. Here's another one of those. So they put these grills out here. Looks like somebody's cutting through. So they've been out here for a long time. When I was a kid, we used to come out here. Of course, the trails weren't as extensive, but you know, it was fun to come out in the woods. now, and I'm not sure when they started, maybe early 2000s. They started making these bike trails. They're multi-use now, hiking, biking, running. And it was in part because of a non-profit called Urban Trail Company. And they have bicycling trails. They built bicycling trails all around the metropolitan area. So check them out. You can go online, Urban Trail Company. And you can see all the trails that they have, if they're open or not. I checked this one this morning and it was open. Another one of these grills. All right. See y'all in a bit. All right. So, Wyandotte County Lake has gone through a lot of changes, and this is one of them here. You can see when we come up here, we come up on a road. No cars can get down here though, because it is blocked off up here with some big boulders. You can see where it's starting to get washed out. So there's the orange trail, I think it's called Mason's First Trail. You can go up or down that section we did. I've seen these things here in the woods. I'm not sure what they're collecting, but section I did, usually I'm going that way, and you're kind of going uphill, and I didn't show you the rocks or anything, but it's kind of a tough climb, at least for me. For some people it probably wouldn't be. Oh, that's somebody's visor. All right, so we're gonna go down here. My son has an appointment that I have to take him to. He's gonna drive me. We're just kind of low on cars. So yeah, I'm pretty sure this used to be a road that came down here and gave you some access to the lake. But through the years, they've shut it off probably because of erosion. It's hard to keep track of. And there used to be a little cut through here. Yeah, it looks like there still is. Some people try to do little shortcuts. I don't mind them, but the trail masons don't like it. So this trail is called Lakeside. This trail is the Whitetail. And it's the old road. You can kind of see the gravel's pretty stout along here. I'm trying to always keep a look at my feet. I don't want to accidentally step on a snake. I've been seeing a lot of people posting videos of timber rattlers coming through, not necessarily here, but kind of out in the woods on their hikes, things like that. A little overgrown, but so yeah, I'm just trying to keep a lookout. And here's part of the lake. You can start to see it. Ooh, a lot of spider webs. Yeah, that's about it. Once I get a better look at the lake. Oh, here. Little trails, so you can go down. People go fishing off the banks here. This is just one of the coves. So you can come back in these coves, but and volunteers all keep this cut up. I've tried to do it. Usually they work on Sundays. And I go to church on Sunday. So, if it was a Saturday, I'd be all for it. But for whatever reason, well, people are busy on Saturdays too. I guess a lot of people don't go to church. Maybe, I don't know. Doesn't seem like it. So Sundays are probably better for turnouts. But they've posted that you could pick up the equipment and come out here by yourself. And maybe that's what I'll offer to do. I'll come out here with a weed eater or something and cut this stuff. I've done it once before, so that stick has been there a long time. There's a hole there starting to get covered up, looks like. So this doesn't look like much now. Like I said, I think it used to be a road. There's one of these little outcroppings here. There's the lake. Anyway, see you in a bit. Sounds like there's people on the lake already this morning, but we'll see you in a little bit. Kind of overgrown here. I'm gonna look down at my feet. Thought I just saw a snake, but I didn't. It was a stick. Sometimes they can fool you. So if you didn't know, which you probably don't, I grew up here in KCK, Wyandotte County, around this lake my whole life. I was born and raised here in KCK, retired from the fire department here just recently, April 1st of this year, 2025. And I tell you, I've loved it, every minute of it. I'm going to be finishing up my master's degree, Master of Divinity. And here's a little area. It's a little bifurcation. I think we're going to go down here. Normally, the way I've been walking, I would be going down that way and down this way. You hit this area, you go this way, there's a whole nother loop. Eventually you'll come back through here, climb up that hill, continue down that way. That's the way I just came up. So to cut off some miles, because I have to be somewhere at 11, I think I'm going to go this way. So, like I said, if you need the map to this place, it's not the best marked compared to other trails around here. So just be aware of that. Although you can get the maps from Urban Trail Company and kind of know basically where you're going. You know, you're not going to get lost. You follow a trail long enough out here, you're going to get to back to the parking lot. So it's not that big a deal. There's a low area. Usually they put logs or rocks there, which they probably will eventually. My back is feeling really good. I have no pain in it. So that's great. This is an old, these woods have been growing for a long time. Like I said, ever since the Depression, because this is a works project, something, WPA, I think it's what it's, Works Project Association, I think is what it is. that was a program the government started to come up with construction projects to get people back to work. This lake was part of that, as was Wyandotte High School, which I graduated from. Very, very nice morning. It's in the 60s this morning. Saw my wife off to work, but we were able to have some coffee on the porch patio, which is one of our favorite times together, really. But we had a coffee out there, and I was even a little chilly, but I kept my short sleeve on. I'm notoriously get cold easy, and that just happened in the last few years. All right, we'll check in a little bit later. Okay, so it's 9:40. I have to get my son to an appointment by 11. Takes about 30 minutes to get there. So I just came down this trail. Usually you're going up and coming down this way if I was riding a bike. I did the opposite way because I wanted to have more hills, a little bit better workout. There is a sanctioned shortcut to get us back to that gravel road that we came in on. So I'm tempted to do that. I've only gone like 1.6 miles. So the two arrows that are going left and right, that's the White Tail Trail. This is a connector, the blue arrow, right behind us. Right there. Cuts off quite a bit. But I think I will take that since, yeah, really, and I got to take a shower. I'm a little sweaty. So I think I'm going to take this way. Little shortcut here. Gets us back down to the gravel road that we came in on. So this is kind of fun to go down hilly. Slow spots will always be more muddy. Right there's case in point. But they do open it up. There is a print there. I think it's a dog. Besides the normal kind of squirrels and raccoons, I haven't seen too many raccoons out here. I swear that I have seen a bobcat out here. Other people have said the same thing. It was kind of at the distance, and this cat was in no hurry, was not afraid. But I was coming down a gravel road up where I parked, and I was trying to burn in the brakes. This was several years ago. And I saw this thing sitting in the middle of the road, and we just kind of kept on going down. My son and I were out here. There we go. Here's that road. So we were down here, and thing was just sitting there. And as we got closer, he just kind of slowly got up and walked off. So the way I'm pointing now, that's why I say this probably used to be a road. This connects to another road just up that hill there. And it's pretty steep, but it's called one-way road because it's one way. And it just takes you to some fishing spots. That was the shortcut that we just came down. And then this is the road that we're going to be going back. It's going to lead us back to the parking lot. I don't know if I filmed it before, but I'll show you where we went up the trail. You can hear people out on the lake. Their voices really carry. So here's the entrance that we did. Right there. If I was riding my bike, normally I'd be coming out of that. And then down here, down this way, there's a slight hill. But then once you get over this hill, there's like a slight downhill. Man, you can really, it looks like it's flat, but you're just cruising along, pedaling. I have not needed my inhaler this morning, which I'm happy about. I did take one early this morning because I was just a little rattly. I have adult onset asthma. So every once in a while I need to take a couple puffs. This morning I woke up a little congested for some reason. So took a couple puffs and maybe I'm just still feeling the effects of that. So anyway, if you're riding your bike, this is the way you'd be coming back to Whitetail. And maybe I'll go up that road just to kind of show you. All right, so we're back at this gravel road. Normally you'd be riding up this. This is a pretty steep hill. May not look that steep, but after you've been riding and your legs are already tired, be a little trying. And then you still got to go up this on the bike. I'm hiking today. So I think I'm just going to go up this road here. This is where I came out. But if I go up here, it's probably a long way around. But it's more hilly, I think. So maybe I'll just go this way because I didn't film it. That's just the road that goes up to the, eventually up to the parking lot. So I'll go down here, I'm a little out of breath. I'm not in the best shape. A lot of big changes happening. And I haven't been able to get out on the bike, really do much exercise. So, my wife and I are trying to lose some weight, get back out and exercise. But now my wife has a full-time job at the college I go to. So we were happy about that. Today's our first day working. So I made her breakfast. She used to make me breakfast all the time. Going to the fire station. Now I get to make her breakfast, which I have no problem with. Now I've tried to climb this section many times on a bike. Right here I usually don't have a problem. Can I come up here, go right through there? All right. So I usually don't have a problem here. And then you come up here. I usually don't have too much of a problem here. Sometimes I get stuck on that. But you can come right through here, hop your wheel over. Now you can usually get up on this. Up here is usually where I have the problem. You can see how it kind of comes up around. I mean, that hill just goes up. I'll show you. So I can usually make it to about right here somewhere. And then there's this really steep angle. Now, some of you may be looking at this and going, oh, this is nothing. So that's cool if you can do that. I can't though. Now I've made it up here before, but other times I've stalled and touched my foot. So that's back out to that gravel road, kind of that flat area right there. There's a shortcut out to the gravel road if you want it. So that's a pretty, technical area, so to speak. So then you're up here and you're doing good. None of this is too challenging. It's rocky, but it's not a big deal. It's one of those greats from the Boy Scouts. Then you come across this. Uphill, rocky. Now, they didn't have this bypass here. So you come up here and you go to the left here. That's what you used to have to climb up to right up there. Climbed up all this. But people start saying, forget that. And they made a different way around. It's a little bit easier. There are lines here, like maybe here, going up that way. That could be a line. There's a line going through here. So there's probably a couple lines you could use. But after riding, down 3 miles of stuff, at least I was always pretty tired. I'm not a professional or anything. I really just started riding these trails in 2020 during the COVID stuff. Just a way to get out. And bikes were in short demand and, all this stuff. But I was able to get one. Had a hardtail. A specialized rock hopper. So I was, for never doing it and having a rock hopper, I was a little underbiked, I thought, but for me, for my skill set. But I came out here and still had a lot of fun. And now being out on these trails, I want to get my bike back out here. But the rest of it's pretty easy. I mean, there's some rocks and roots. Nothing too hard. Slightly uphill. So, like I said, if you're tired, it's going to be a challenge. And if you're not in real good shape like me, it'll be a challenge. But it's nothing too hard. Come out here for a couple months doing this and you'll be able to get up it. Not a big deal. Just loop it. So here's one of the non-sanctioned shortcuts that I'm going to take. Usually you go up this way, loop around, and eventually you come up here. Well, you know what? I don't think it's that much, so let's go ahead and try it. We won't take the non-sanctioned shortcut. They put logs in front of it, so you can't ride over it, but you could easily walk over it. But it's not that big a deal. See, we were at 239. When we reach that place again, then we'll look and see where we're at, how much we would have cut off. So here's that non-sanctioned cut through right here, and we were at 247. So 0.8 miles. So that's, I mean, it's not that big of a cut, but you know, if you're walking, you can easily do it. But they don't like you using the non-sanctioned paths. So don't come out here and make all kinds of paths. I've never done it. Sometimes I've taken them, but I've never made one. So it's been, these trails have been back here for a long time. And they probably just made some basic trails. So the kids could hike on them. Made their way down to the lake. Maybe they had a little picnic on the way. You know. Here's another one of those picnic tables. Some parts of this trail, it's on the other side of the dam. They have the old, well, there's one on this side too. They have old bathrooms. So, yeah, there's a cookout thing. There was a table there, another table here. All that's left, the woods is completely rotted away. All that's left is the concrete. Can you imagine going up this? I always kind of go right here and then right there. So it looks like people are going right though, coming up right here and then up that. So, like I said, it's be a fun little downhill. The entrance where we came in. So normally you would come in right here to the left, take a left if you're on your bike, and then you would come back. It's one big giant loop. You'd come back this way and you come up. Right up here is the parking lot. And we're parked right here. I don't want to get my license on there. But we come up here, and this is where you would park. And that's the trailhead. That's what it would look like. So that's Whitetail Loop. And you got the parking lot. Not gonna get my car in there. So that thing right there that you can see, maybe, that's part of the Kansas City Rowing Company. If you go down this street, there's a big hill that you go down to a shelter. That's where the KC Rowing Company is, and you can ride down that too. Trails crisscross the upper parking lot. They have another trail that you can access. So anyway, that's Wyandotte County Lake Whitetail Loop. Pretty fun loop, especially if you're on a bike. Gives you a lot of exercise though if you're just on foot. A lot of spider webs this morning, but I've had worse, but it wasn't too bad. So anyway, that's all I have for you today. I just thought I'm going to come out here anyway. I thought I'd make a video. Never been out here filming at Wyandotte County Lake. So anyway, we will talk to you all later. Bye.